Revenge films.
My name is Adam, and I'm an average salaryman that you'd find anywhere. I got married 6 years ago, and my wife and I live together, just the two of us. Due to our current financial situation, we don't have any kids yet, but I would like to have at least one child in the future. My wife and I both have been working, and recently it seemed like we finally had enough savings. We had heard that raising a child would cost a lot of money, so we had agreed to wait until we felt like we had enough saved up to try. Even if we had a child, we would only feel bad if we couldn't properly provide for it. Looks like we're finally saved up enough. I think it's time that we could have our first child. I started having these thoughts recently, and anytime I would go for a walk or go grocery shopping, I found myself always looking at other families with kids. Then one day, I was at home alone when a man I have never seen before showed up at my door.
Hi there, you must be Adam. There's something I wanted to talk to you about concerning your wife. Do you have some time?
Huh? I was invited by this man whose name I didn't even know, but we moved to a restaurant in order to talk. Well then, what was it that you wanted to talk about? I asked this man, and he started to talk about himself. Apparently he was still a college student. I asked him again what he wanted to do with me. And he once again said that he had something he needed to talk about concerning my wife.
To put it straight, I want you to break up with her.
Huh? And why is that?
Because I'm better and more worthy of a man for your wife.
What are you even saying? He continued to explain how my wife was having an affair with him. Apparently they started seeing each other about a year ago. And to make matters worse, he said that she's now carrying his child. How can this be?
Well, that's the situation. So that's why I'm asking you to hurry up and divorce her as soon as possible, old man. Tomorrow if you can,
said the adulterer with a fat grin on his face. I had no way to tell if he was even telling the truth or not, but the dates that he claimed they went on vacation together lined up perfectly with the dates that my wife had said she was going on a trip with her friends. Surely that can't be a coincidence, and I started to doubt my wife.
Well, you know, instead of a regular old salaryman with an average salary like you, I've already confirmed a contract with a major company. So don't you agree that I'm going to be able to provide a better future for your wife anyway?
I see. I think I understand the situation now, but you'll have to wait a little bit for the divorce. I need to talk to my wife too, you know.
Sooner the better, all right?
The cheating partner said that and got up to leave, leaving me with the bill and a mess on my plate. Is this for real? In order to find out the truth, I got home and did some research around the room, only to find hundreds of photos of my wife with this man on the computer. I guess he was telling the truth after all. That night, with the evidence in hand, I confronted my wife. After a brief moment of shock, my wife seemed to stand her ground and began to explain why she had cheated.
Well, it's your fault. All you ever do is work and you never pay any attention to me. Every time I said that I wanted kids, your response was always that we didn't have enough money yet and you never ever listened to me.
We talked about having kids, didn't we? We both agreed that we would wait until we have a comfortable amount of money saved. I never said that we wouldn't have kids. Plus, on your days off, you would always go out somewhere with other plans, and you never even tried to make time for us. Apparently, the two of them met at the cafe that they were both working at part-time. She admitted that she was indeed pregnant with his child, and that she planned on giving birth to the baby. She told me that the reason she cheated was because no matter how much time had passed, and no matter how many times she asked, I said we weren't ready to have a child. The reason why she chose him was probably because he's a university student who claims he has a confirmed contract with a major company, and she thought she could have a comfortable and stable life with him. To make matters worse, she said that she had used all our savings on the affair. I had thought that we'd saved around $30,000. When I checked the count, there was only a few $100s left. I was so stunned that I couldn't even get angry.
Well, now you understand my reason, right?
Yeah, and I also understand that I was being betrayed by you this entire time. Let's get a divorce. After all this, I didn't think there was any other choice but to get a divorce. Of course, I was planning on having her pay a settlement fee for the affair. I will be contacting that guy's parents as well as the university about this.
Go ahead. We're all free to choose who we want to love anyway, so what does it matter?
Even if that's cheating?
Yeah, of course.
You do remember that my job is a lawyer, right?
Yeah, I remember, but what does that have to do with anything?
I see. Free to choose who you love, huh? That may be true, but having an affair is not just or right. If you can prove the affair in the court of law, then the one who cheated will be legally forced to pay a settlement fee to the affected partner. I bet you didn't know that, did you? Either that or you do know, but you're so in love with him that you don't care. After that, I found out the cheating partner's university, as well as his parents' home. Just as I was preparing the evidence and I was getting ready to bring it to his parents, the cheating man showed up at my doorstep once again.
Mr. Adam, pardon me, but there was something else I wanted to speak directly to you about.
Compared to his boisterous attitude from before, he was much more quiet this time around. What is it? I'm sure you've heard from my wife. We're going through the divorce now, so can't you wait a little bit?
Yeah, well, about that. I was actually coming to say that, maybe you don't need to get a divorce, or, how to say this.
Huh? Seems like he heard that I was going to speak to his university and his parents about this whole situation, and started to get scared. Maybe he realized that his upcoming contract would be canceled, or that he'd be getting sued for a large settlement, and he got scared, and had come running back to me to try to take back everything that he said before.
So, I was hoping for your understanding here, and, that maybe we could come to some sort of an agreement?
Agreement? Yeah, right. How could you say that when you have a child with her on the way?
I know I was wrong too! So, can we please pretend like none of this ever happened?
What do you mean I was wrong too? This is all your fault to begin with! And now you're trying to settle things with me on your own terms? Is he really even in university? I guess 22 years old is still not an adult. He still thinks he doesn't have to take responsibility for his actions, and that he can get away without any consequence. You do know that in order for us to reach an agreement, both sides have to agree to the terms, right?
Please, I'm begging you! Please don't ruin a young man's bright, promising future like this!
Promising future, huh? I have a hard time believing that a guy who slept with and steals someone else's wife has a promising future. And either way, guys like this might enter a big company, but they'll always cause problems there and quit. Because he's the type of scumbag who doesn't think twice about putting his hands on someone else's precious wife. Sorry, beyond this, I have no choice but to report this to both your parents and your university.
What? Come on, I'm apologizing! So just forgive me already! Otherwise, I'm going to have my contract with the major company canceled! The one I worked so hard for!
You are a fully grown adult at this stage. Sure, within society you may still be a student, and it may seem like you don't have a lot of obligations, but you have to take responsibility for your own actions. That's an obvious duty of being an adult. Oh, and by the way, I'm a lawyer.
What?
Unfortunately for you, I've got a pretty good understanding of the law, and I do plan on suing you for a settlement fee, so I hope you'll be ready for that.
Lawyer?
Oh, my wife didn't tell you? Well then, goodbye. And so I started making moves. Even after that, he came back multiple times to apologize and to beg me not to tell his parents or the university. But I had absolutely zero intention of forgiving him. I did end up going to the university and to his parents' home to explain the facts to them. To my surprise,
I'm so terribly sorry for my idiot son.
his parents apologized multiple times, keeping their heads hung low. When I mentioned the settlement fee, they both agreed for it to be paid in full. When I told them about the unborn child, Their faces went completely pale. I don't even have kids yet, but this made me realize that at the end of the day, a child's actions will forever be their parents' responsibility. When I spoke to the university about the situation, they took it very seriously and proceeded to expel him from the school. His contract was automatically canceled, and my wife's cheating partner lost everything. My wife must have realized that even if she married him, she wouldn't be happy, and she came running back to me, but I had nothing more to say. And so I became single again, and I'm currently enjoying the process of looking for a new partner. After all that, it turns out my wife didn't get married. And I guess she must have believed that he would have his job at a major company. But since that was no longer the case, she must have realized that there was no other reason to marry this former university student. I heard that she's now working part-time at the supermarket while raising the child alone. Between paying back her debt and raising the child, it seems she's struggling to make ends meet. The cheating partner was also abandoned by her, was forced to pay child support to her monthly. He tried to find another job, but couldn't land anything at a proper company. So now he's working part-time at the convenience store while struggling to pay the child support, along with a settlement fee that his parents had fronted for him. After so proudly talking about his bright, promising future, he probably never expected to be barely getting by on part-time jobs. On the other hand, a little while after the divorce, I started dating again. I recently met a woman that I get along really well with, and I even have a date with her tonight. This time, I want to be prepared both emotionally and financially, so that if we ever get married, I'll be ready to have kids whenever she wants.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.